And bro, I mean, I guess this is like first time me being happy about it because I have been building this website, my agency's website. As you can see, it's just me testing if the code is working. All this time, internet was off, and that's why the local host wasn't working. My browser wasn't loading the new changes I implemented to the code. And I was sitting and thinking that I'm a dumb ass who couldn't, comprehend and realize how to make a freaking simple menu to work properly. When you click on the menu button, it has to open, and when you click on the close button, it has to close. And I couldn't figure that out. I mean, I still can't figure that out, but I don't have internet, and I can happy about this thing, that now I don't have to deal with this problem. I'm gonna just close, I just closed VS Code. I closed like Google Chrome, and I'm gonna record this vlog, man. I'm just so happy that bro, I spent entire day from since I woke up like 5 or 6 a.m. working on this agency's website because I so badly want to complete this thing, and I just so want to get rid of it from my daily schedule. But it's at the same time sheesh, so annoying and hurting, and I don't like it because you basically, when you learn a language of programming, it's like memorizing or learning a foreign language. At some point you will start to think in that language. It's been 2 or 3 years since I'm making content in English, and at this point sometimes ideas come to my mind in English. I don't have to translate the words. I don't have to find the right words or synonyms. I can explain what is on my mind and my ideas and my thoughts and what I'm thinking and sometimes even feeling, which is a lot harder than just logic, in English by default, because thoughts come to your mind in English automatically. Obviously, it's the matter of how long you practice this thing and how long you do it, and you have to go through this period of time when you, as like I'm going through right now with coding, yeah, like it's been only a very small amount of time I have been coding consistently. I started doing this thing maybe end of September, when the things got really bad, and I decided that I'm gonna get a coding job, at least for now, and when I'm gonna get to certain paycheck a month, when I can sit back and think about the business and don't worry about this family, don't worry about this college thing. That's when I kind of started watching these interviews and doing this pet projects and learning how to code. I'm sorry, relearning how to code, because it's been close to 1 year since I didn't code properly. And I hate that. Bro, I don't wanna look fancy on the camera, because that's not the goal I'm recording these videos for. I hate this feeling, because right now I kind of have this hope, and I know that pretty soon, when I'm gonna get some kind of idea about building some kind of feature or app, right? At some point, if I'm gonna keep doing this thing, if I'm gonna keep working on myself, if I'm gonna keep growing, if I'm gonna keep coding, if I'm gonna keep on learning new stuff and getting better 1% every day, at some point I will start think in a language of programming. We got some kind of idea about a certain app. Okay, I think this is how we're gonna do it. This is how many pages we're gonna have. Okay, this is how we're gonna make this code. This is what kind of function we're gonna make, right? So yeah, I don't know, if you are at least even a little technical, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. But what do I do right now? How do I get rid of this feeling, because I hate it, and it's all good. You don't want to get back into coding because of this feeling, because I don't think people, a normal human being, I don't know, should be sick or ill to like this pain. You know what I mean? And I don't like it, obviously. And obviously I will complete this website no matter what. Yeah, that's it. I didn't push this thing into production yet, but I have to. I think the only thing which has left is to, yeah, make this menu bar. The thing I'm having the problems with is the JavaScript, is when it comes to logic, like giving styles in CSS and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I have been doing this thing for long enough, like a lot longer than I started using JavaScript on my websites. And that's why I'm more, how to say that? I'm just basically better at giving styles in HTML and CSS, and some people fear CSS, like they don't want to use CSS, they want to use Sass, or like they don't even want to deal with this thing, like the super newbies. For these people, even CSS is pretty complex. Yeah. Okay, man, I don't want to complain. We have done a good amount of progress, even though I don't know what am I doing. Like, I have this imposter syndrome, and I feel bad because of this thing, that I sometimes have to Google something and it's not my code, and I have to ask ChatGPT about how to make a certain function, and all the things compound, and on top of that, you also have this feeling of, I don't know what am I doing, and I don't know how I'm gonna finish this project. So I guess when we're gonna close a client, I have to hire someone to help me fulfilling a client or something like that, or maybe ask my friend of mine. Otherwise, it's gonna take I don't want to, right now it's like our agency's website. If I fail, then there is like nothing, bad about it. But in the case of client, I cannot allow myself to fail. So I have to somehow, work on that and get some help, I guess. And as time is gonna go through, I guess at certain stage I won't need any help. It's like in a company, like you get better if you get a job, like as a programmer. At the early stages, you're gonna ask for help from middle and senior developers, and at certain stage you won't ask them for help, and that's when you realize that you are at the middle or senior level. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share for today. It's already 8 minutes. My entire day is coding today. First half of the day I was coding the agency's website. The next half of the day, as soon as internet is gonna come back, I think I'm gonna be coding the pet project, which is even harder and complex than this agency's website. Oh my god. But the good news is that these things are gonna come to an end. Sooner or later, these things are gonna come to an end. And one day, I'm just gonna be glad that I finished, and I even started at first these projects. It's like I did with my personal website. I completed it, how many, 2, 3, 4 days ago. And I'm glad that I made this website, and I'm glad that I, started building that. you are always glad that you started it in the end. You know, with coding, there is this weird feeling, there's this weird thing about it. When you don't know something, you feel really bad. But if you find a solution somehow, way or form, you figure that out, maybe you Google, maybe you find some kind of open source project, you copy something out of it, and like at the end of the day, you solve the problem. It doesn't matter how. Maybe you Google, maybe you prompt, maybe you find someone else's code and implement it. You solve the problem and at least understand something, like 1% out of what you do, right? And you feel like a king. You feel like a king. You feel like the best ever. You feel like you made it. And then the next problems comes in. And then you feel bad again, and then you feel down again, and then you have to go through this grilling process of work through which you feel worse and worse and worse until all of a sudden you find the right solution and you get out of this pit. It's like in life. I guess it is life. Sheesh, we kind of, I think maybe because I never worked in a company, I don't know how the real programmers, even though they're middle or senior developers, damn it, they also have problems, they also make bugs, they also have to Google sometimes, they also have things they don't know. They just have been coding for longer than you, and they just have failed more times than you, and that's the only thing dividing you and them. It's the experience. And experience is in years and this, yeah, I guess you understand. Experience in more failures, you know? So if you fail more, you succeed more. You have tried less because you have been in the game less time than this guy. And that's the reason why you're a junior. You're gonna spend some time, 5, 6, I don't know how many years. And at a certain stage, you know, I'm saying 5, 6 years, but take a guess how many years I spent learning English. English person is gonna spend about the same amount of time learning Chinese. Programming is a language. Don't forget that. Programming is a language. Yes, there is different dialects, like there is different coding languages, I want to say, like Python, JavaScript, and da. They kind of differentiate, but the logic is nearly the same behind every programming language out there to talk to a computer. So I guess that's it for today. I mean, I have been coding for like all day, so don't expect me to talk about anything else except in coding, right? This is the plan for today, 13th of October 2024. As you can see, so agency's website, pet project, there is this thing called the React router DOM I have to learn. So we have a lot of things regarding programming to do and deal with. And also we have to vlog what I'm doing right now. And I guess I'm gonna use this chance of lights turning off to do some push-ups and train. And yeah. Sheesh, man, I love recording these videos. Even though I got hate sometimes, hate comments and all kind of garbage towards my side, there is a lot of awesome people writing comments. Thank you guys for that. Really appreciate it. Bye bye.